So before the stream, like as I do, I set up and then something catches my eye. And usually it just moderately pisses me off. Now, I have developed a career in caregiving, being a direct support professional. So I've taken care of a lot of different kinds of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I didn't start off very angry, but then I became furious. And I'll show you what I mean. Open up my Chrome.
Absolutely nothing will prepare you for what this wheelchair user does when the chairlift at the train station doesn't work.
I would get like a pillow or a stuffed animal to like punch so you don't put holes in your wall.
This has 17 million views. Yes, I've been waiting for this coverage. I didn't even know about this.
The lift's down. Rip. Here's what happens if you're a wheelchair user and the lift breaks at the train station. This was Manchester Piccadilly, and when I arrived, the lift was broken and I had my chair and attachment. I spoke to the staff and they brought down a stair lift.
So I bet you're thinking a few things. You might be thinking, okay, our government is inept. We need more options for, wheelchair users to get up there. That's what you would think happened.
The first option was the built-in stair lift, but this actually didn't work. They figured out that it was broken, so that was two options completely down. The second option was a small portable stair lift, which didn't look as sturdy, and I was quite scared of it, not gonna lie. But they brought it down anyway, and when we got to the bottom, we realized that my chair wouldn't fit onto it. I have quite a long wheelbase with my attachment, so we couldn't do it. We'd just gotten off a flight too, so I couldn't even detach my attachment because it was physically taped together and we didn't have scissors. So in the end, because I'm ambulatory and I did have...
She fucking walked. Now, that does not mean, because I've seen this for a little while, that does not mean that she does not have a disability. First thing that came to my mind when watching this, I'm like, okay, if people are upset about this, sometimes just people only have so much energy in walking and then they just have to sit back down. That is a real thing. I've seen it. Completely valid. But do you think that's all that we see today?
A bit of energy on this day. I offered to walk up the stairs while they carried up my setup. The staff were really helpful in this case, but I'm not sure how it would have been fixed if I couldn't walk up the stairs. Travel is really unpredictable anyway, but if you add in being a wheelchair user, you never quite know what's going to happen or how to get to your destination. So traveling with a disability is a roller coaster.
I'm not ready to get mad.
So they
This is where I was. And then I saw this.
actually don't hear my tics, and when I'm distracted I don't tick as much.
I'm starting to get mad.
I'm starting to get mad too.
I'm starting to get mad.
Oh yeah.
You just do...
I don't know
what
if a
suits your
wheelchair would be
body and what
enough.
suits-
This is
and if
the...
that's all so
Oh. You cannot begin the amount of fury that I have in my body right now. As someone who is a DSP and a behavior specialist, an OIS trained certified individual, trained in offering meds, certified in that, have had to put people on holds in order to keep themselves and others safe, have people in wheelchairs, walking them around, and then I see bullshit like this. And there are people that view her as fucking disabled because she just made it up. Dude, white women are so jealous of everyone else's victimization that they have to placebo it into their lives in order to compete on the victim sliding market. Because what else would they have in life? A husband and children, apparently. Too boring. Too boring for them.
I'm really glad that I can go.
That's insane. Trying to do a COVID test with... Wait, she has Tourette's too?
I would like to see her chart. I really, really. Wait, this is the LAD Bible? Hold on a second.
Right, do you want to just close your eyes? Sorry. Oh no.
This is pure performative theater acting bullshit. I've seen Tourette's. I've seen people with intellectual developmental disabilities. This is play acting. This is absolute play acting.
Oh no.
Like, if you see Sweet Anita, you can tell which one is, like, that those are tics. These are prepared. She's just convinced herself that she has Tourette's. Like, when I say that this woman placeboed it into her life, I think she actually did.
Seizures and fainting in class? Wait.
I have witnessed hundreds of seizures. Hundreds of seizures. I have never seen one or several that go like this.
What? Small seizure. Absent seizure. Absent seizure begins. 2x speed. So
even these small seizures would take an immense amount of energy out of you. Like an immense amount. Like you would be going to the nurse's office if you had 3 of them. She, once again, is faking. Like, okay, so like absent seizures, it's kind of like the same idea as absent. Like you'll see kind of the glossy-eyed effect go on. And a lot of times you'll see the glossy-eyed effect and absent seizures lead into grand malls. They recently changed what the name of grand malls, but if you know what a grand mal is, essentially that's the one where you're convulsives and you're shaking on the floor. Yeah, you know what? I think you absolutely have a point there, John. I think the Dahmer glasses are the things that gave it away. But yeah, like this, like you don't see these over and over and over in a row. Like you usually don't. They technically can exist, but if you see all these seizures in a row, like you're going to the nurse's office, if not the hospital. You don't sit there and record it. And if anything, she would get more, and if it was true, she would get more views actually going to the hospital. This is someone who wants that much attention, in my personal opinion.
she's recording herself. Like, I'm sorry, guys, but this is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, she just gets out of it, fluffs her hair.
I don't want to come off. Okay.
No.
I don't want to come off.
Oh, no, that I have never seen a seizure be like, oh, look, a bird. Oh, down. No, this is so much. This is someone who looked up videos on seizures and is trying to pretend to do it with no real, like, acting training. Like, this is just bad acting. And because we live in this victim mindset society, and she lives in the bubble that's, infinitely expanding of believe the victim all the time, this is where we're at. And the dumbest thing in the world is that she just recorded it for the entire world to see. But unfortunately, there will still be lefty lunatics who will see that and go, oh, poor girl. No, it's her disability is sometimes, temporary. Again, this goes back to what I was saying before. Don't believe your lying eyes. Just consume product.
Okay, I do want to come off as insensitive. This seems like another performative that acts weird for fucking attention. I came out of this faint and went straight into another. I can walk good on some days. No way, this is...
How much money do you think she's getting off of TikTok? Look, it is not going to be as much as you'd get like on a long form YouTube short. But because of how TikTok works, it would not surprise me if she got a decent payday out of this. My question is, how long has she been doing this? Because I'm not going to look at her channel. Absolutely not. Plus, I barely know how to use TikTok. That platform is confusing as fuck and what it wants to actually do with itself. So that's why you never see me on there. But she's fucking skating. I know I like moved away from that for a little bit, but she's fucking skating.
So, what?
Skating. I feel really tall. Sometimes I can't move my legs at all, but on really good days like this, I can do something.
Oh my god. Like if it was just the wheelchair stuff, maybe.
Look, like it is very hard to believe all of these things in a row. It is incredibly difficult. Yes, there are, like, these things do exist, like temporary stuff, like, hey, I'm able to do this for a few minutes at a time and then come back. But what she's doing, I think, is she's taking advantage of essentially the short TikTok system of, oh, I don't really need to prove it because all you're seeing is 10 to 30 seconds of this. But then because most people don't put it all together, because long form creators are going to be like, hey, this is kind of weird. We should look into this. And then they line everything up and they go, oh, you're an attention seeker that has cosplayed with many different disabilities that you're clearly just making up. And everyone around you is lying to you so they don't have to feel uncomfortable. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
Maybe this person faints often. Maybe they have epilepsy that's really serious. This is the same girl.
You're a penis. Whoa,
The woman exposed for using a wheelchair for being able to walk and do gymnastics claims to have multiple other conditions, including Tourette's syndrome, autism, and full body paralysis, which seem to go and come on a whim.
No. Her brain, or society has taught her that when something is wrong, she will get attention. This is the equivalent of when a baby is crying, even though you know it's been fed, even though you know it's been changed, and it's, almost 9 months to a year old, and you need to wean it so that it can go to bed by itself. This is a child that never got weaned on that. Mommy always came in to hold her. Never learned to be self-reliant, never learned to go to sleep on their own, has only learned that attention is gained one way, and that's through disability, crying, and victimization, because that's what the world has taught women.
I don't know what to say. Why is it that she doesn't do,
5 years now, and I have learned a lot. I've had so many different experiences being a wheelchair user, and is that a wheelchair?
Notice that she doesn't say disabled. She says a wheelchair user. Almost like the equivalent of, what did they call women for a while? Chest feeders? Like, I don't know. Like, she's like what is it? She's a snowboard user. She's a chi user. She's a kung fu user. She's a ski user.
Can really change your life. In the UK, there are not really drops.
Yeah, you get to, cut in front of line by pretending that you have something that you don't. You just figured out a way not to walk all the time and have other people approve of you doing so.
Curbs places, it isn't accessible to physically, but the average wheelchair, I'd say, like a Quickie Nitram, is about £2,000 or £3,000.
I just
and
do.
That and she's pulling. She's doing what Smash JT's daughter did last night. Oh, the sewing machine is about $100. She's grifting. This is subtle, very subtle grifting, where she goes, yeah, the thing is, like, remember how she was saying how her, earlier on, how her wheelchair, like, there's a part that was taped up. So kind of indicating that something's wrong with it. And then just slightly says, oh, yeah, they actually cost this much, if you happen to click the donation button down below. And look, I appreciate a donation. And Benjamin, we will get to yours. I just need to finish the segment here before I get to him. I'm trying to switch to something similar that Smash JT does. Story, then we get back to the chat, and then there. Anyway, now I have to cut this out now. But the thing is, I'm like, hey, I'm seeing what I'm seeing in the world. I'm going to tell you what I think to the best of my ability. Sometimes my opinion will change. Sometimes you won't like my opinion, and that's fine. Let's discuss it. You want to see more? You want to support the show? Donations, great. Never are you going to see me go, I'm in a fucking wheelchair, but I can still walk. Money, please. That is a whole different amount of grift here. Because not only that, she's trying to like stack victimization. Like, remember the wheelchair-bound gay black trans Jew that was on the red carpet at the same time? Like just stacking all of them at the same time. Like, if they were Jewish and Muslim at the same time, like, it would have been even more impressive because they were literally the Middle East in one individual. But like, that's what she's doing. She's stacking disabilities and victimizations. That's overall fake, and it's only for her benefit. And because people are never going to call her out on that, especially here on the internet, because even though I'm here on the internet, she's not going to pay attention to someone like me. She's just going to call me a hater, which I am, and I think rightfully so. And she's just going to gravitate to all the people that'll be yes men saying, oh, don't worry about them. Here's more money. Here's the new wheelchair. Oh, we'll support you, queen. Do you have a Patreon? Like that's all that's going to happen. Like, nothing's going to change until she gets actually like brainwashed, because at some point, because she has you know what? We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. It's coming up.
Like a quickie nitrum is about £2,000 or £3,000.
I just, dude, look at that.
Fuck. 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 Penis.
It's so weird, bro. Like,
It's so performative. It's I I might look at what Sweet Anita says about this. It would be interesting.
It is June, which means it is Pride Month. And as a lot of you may have seen,
She just can't be one thing. She has to stack her tech abilities.
describe myself as queer. Now, if you scroll through my content, you will see that number one, I have a boyfriend.
She labels herself as queer. Okay, number one. Two, she says, I have a boyfriend. Okay. Now let's keep going.
I am dating a guy and I identify as a woman. That places me in a position where I look straight. So
She's queer, but even though she's dating a man, it makes you seem to her that she's in a straight relationship. Okay. Like, let's read that one more time. That places me... Enhance. Okay, I can't zoom in anymore. I would need a... This places me in a position where I look straight. Guys, I'm really gonna focus on this. I look straight.
Position where I look straight. So many of you assume that I cannot be queer.
Assume that you cannot be queer. Okay, we're in another level now. We're in another level. Because no one knows what queer means anymore. Back in the 90s and 2000s, everyone knew. We even had a game for it. It was called Smear the Queer. Okay, you know what? We're going to look up the definition. What does queer actually mean? And even Google doesn't know. Being queer means having sexual orientation or gender identity that does not fit traditional mainstream ideas of being straight or cisgender. It serves as a broad umbrella term for anyone in the LGBTQ community, and some people use it as a specific personal... It means nothing. It means I am anything but traditional, and if you make fun of me because I've covered all the steps and what is it? The spectrum of the rainbow and the spectrum of every other mental illness or physical illness that she has. I have a universal block for anything, and everyone's gonna pay me. I get government subsidies, and everything's gonna be fine. Queer means fucking nothing, and it used to mean, oh, you're gay and kind of feminine. It was mainly towards gay men. It was a slur for gay men. And now for some reason they co-opted it into some different thing. That's all that happened. Oh no, this person is not on the spectrum. This is someone who literally learned how to get what they want through victimization. I mean, I will say one thing, at least they're not like screaming on the side of a road. I mean, there's technically worse things, but this actually costs taxpayer dollars.
Because I am now dating a man.
Because I am now dating a man. I'm curious of what her roster actually is.
There is more than one way that somebody can be queer.
Are you?
How? Which color? Which color is queer? Because it used to be primarily men, also meant lesbians. But now now it's something else, and no one can describe it. Essentially, I believe queer is being used in the sense that, hey, even though I'm straight, I have alternative, like-minded thinking like everyone else in the LGBT community, but I actually don't want to participate in the sexual escapades that they do. So I'm going to say queer in order to pretend that I'm part of the group, but constantly date, traditionally date, but with the armor of the colors.
You
Sexuality is a
bisexual?
spectrum. People like me who feel like they don't fit into a certain category.
And the thing is, you look online, guys. I will say one thing, like bisexual people, like a lot of like anyone in like the QT community really don't like them. Just because there's a little bit of straightness at all, like they bully them like quite a lot.
Category.
She just wants to be special. There are no
Yeah.
ticks on her live. It's nuts. She found a cure.
To this point, I have an armhole. I'm not, and it's. I crochet turtles and.
If you watch any, and look, everyone's Tourette's are a little bit different but similar. If you look at Sweet Anita or if you look at Ethan on the H3 podcast, like I would say that they're both obvious in different ways. If you look at Ethan, it's more so, physical tics. You see it in, his eyebrows. I think a little bit is him, like when he like does his, with his throat stuff. But mainly it's the eyebrows. Like you can tell that, those aren't normal moves. They definitely don't seem intentional. But, it's one of those you can see him just making it work. And he has a history of this. And this was all before when he was making fun of SJWs and, he had those tics there. He just tried to hide it. Did actually a pretty decent job, but you still see it back then. It's kind of weird how he can do a live stream because you can't hide it for 3 hours and you also can't pretend for 3 hours. But this girl, for some reason, during a live stream, it just is not there for a few hours. I don't think there is one Sweet Anita stream where she doesn't have at least one tick. Oh yeah, and he also flutters his hands. Actually, yeah, that's damn. I'd never noticed that as a tick, Sergeant Sapient. But yeah, like once you said it, when he does that, wow, I never thought of that as a tick. But for some reason, it's imprinted in my brain. Huh.
And I was like,
I don't know what's wrong with these people, bro. I really don't. This is going to be like an opinion that maybe is like a little bit, it might be too much.
Oh, guys, I have said more than Azul I know that this is a short, like one of his clips, like actual like 3 minutes or less clips. But I will tell you, this woman just found the way to get attention. And her the only disability that she has is her thirst for attention by any means necessary. Even if it's to convince herself that she has a disability. That is the disability she has. It is a mental illness.
I think that there's a lot of white girls that aren't able to cope with the amount of white guilt in society, so they have to invent neurological disorders.
See, I'm gonna, from what I said before, I don't think it's necessarily white guilt. It's that, you know how men, they have to compete differently than women do? Like, okay, you got to be stronger, you got to be smarter, right? You have to be able to, find resources. You have to compete in different ways. Now, that doesn't mean that, women also compete. The thing is, it is attention based. It is attention based on looks and based on the attention you get from men. Men, we're kind of suckers. We see a damsel in distress, we want to save a hoe. See, she's just stacking the disabilities so she can get the ultimate nice guy, the ultimate simp, to do whatever she wants. She could walk, and the dude got another guy to carry a wheelchair for a girl that could walk. That is the power she has over that man, over her boyfriend, is unscalable. It is OP. It is overpowered. You will not see power like that in your lifetime. This is the only time you're probably going to see it.
And other ways for them to be part of an oppressed group.
I'm not saying that white guilt isn't a part of it. What I'm saying is it's overall victimization. It has now become disability. It has become race. It has been ethnic. It has been, religion. They have found all the different ways that people in different groups in society have been able to accumulate attention, positive attention. And see, a lot of these people will either do it for good reasons or for wrong reasons. But for this woman, she looked out and went, it doesn't matter the reason, whether it's good or bad, as long as I get it. All she did was study harder than anyone else. And no offense, even though we're making fun of her now, she won.
Can offload their guilt onto somebody else and not feel like they're doing something wrong.
And there is that. Now, as someone that used to take care of people with intellectual developmental disabilities, and I'm probably not showing it as much as I should, I am furious. I do want to punch a wall. This makes me feel like all the experiences I went through, being thrown against walls, putting people in holds, even all the good times that I had with clients and residents, and all the money and resources that go to people that really do have really hard lives, are being wasted on a faker like that. Fuck this bitch. This is Russia.
Hey, thank you for watching this clip from my live stream. Please comment below, like, and subscribe. And be sure to subscribe to my main channel, where I do all these live streams and have my independent videos where I do deep dives. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, you are somebody, I am nobody, and I hope you have a fantastic day.